Hello everyone. Welcome to DEP Onboarding Sync meeting. And I'm To from Cambria. It is my great honor to be your host today. This meeting is for DAO Groups to present the proposals for final feedback and insights gained from all members, including those from other DAOs, ensuring members are well prepared for the upcoming vote. This session also serves as a last opportunity to refine the proposal, promote the project, and invite volunteers, particularly DAO members based near the implementation site. Our session includes 4 parts. Number 1 is onboarding sync overview. Number 2 is proposal preview and Q&A. Number 3 is share onboarding phase feedback. And lastly is next milestones. Now, please join me to welcome our attendees. We have Ms. Lin Cao from the Canberra team, the DAO facilitators of the 4 DAOs including we have Mai Fang and me for Cultural and Creative DAO, Nguyên Lê and Duy Nguyễn for Exchange DAO, Ngọc Trần, Như Huỳnh and Uy Nguyễn for Cat Tokenomics DAO, Trang Lý and Dương Hoàng for Participant Proposed DAO, and welcome all beloved DAO members. During this meeting, if you have any questions or discussion, please share in the chat box. Due to time limit, we will note and choose some questions to discuss directly at the end of this meeting. And we will add on questions and answers to the FAQ page on DEP2 Docs. Please check the FAQ page next week for your answers. All right, so now to kickstart the event, I would like to invite Ms. Lin Cao from the Canberra core team to share with us about the onboarding sync overview.
Thank you, To. Let me share my screen. You see my screen now? Okay. So, hello everyone. In this presentation, I'll share an overview of some important information for us to get ready for the execution phase and reflect on the onboarding phase. The goals of this meeting are to align all DAOs before entering the execution phase, walk through how proposals and voting works on each DAO, review DAO proposal and Q&As, reflect on onboarding phase, and reinforce keystone, documentation, and DAO norms. I will introduce information and insights to help us align on the next step, such as our current stage, proposal submission, voting, and first payment workflows, learning, and improving. First, let's review on our journey so far. On the left is the timeline chart showing our current state. We are now at the end of onboarding phase and about to enter the main phase execution. On the right is the checklist for your onboarding. At this time, you have already completed all these action items and are working on the DAO proposal. Before I go into the proposal submission, voting, and first payment workflows, here's an overview. Today, June 19, we have a preview of the DAO proposal. Then on June 22nd, all proposal will be submitted via the Create Proposal feature on XDAO with 7-day voting period. Until June 29, DAO participants will vote on the qualified proposal listed in the voting tracking sheet. Then we will proceed with the first payment by July 6. Now, our proposal submission, voting, and first payment workflows will be based on XDAO. As mentioned in the kickoff meeting and DEP2 doc, each DAO has a DAO space on XDAO for members to submit and vote on proposal and manage DAO funds. Before you experience the workflows with XDAO, we would like to address the opportunities and challenges for your understanding. The opportunities here, we will see blockchain-based DAO platform can empower community with transparency, automation, and trust, which will result in better autonomy for decentralized communities. But we will also experience the challenges that blockchain in general and this DAO platform in particular are at early stage development, so the experience may not be user-friendly due to technical barrier. We encourage you to open to try with us with the exploratory and experimental mindset. Now, let's go into the workflows. You can find more detail in the XDAO Quick Start Guide on DAO2Docs. Here, I just overview of the key steps. The first step is connect to your DAO space. We all are familiar with the concept login in traditional website, in Web3 or blockchain-based site. This is done by connecting your MetaMask wallet. Your confirmation are recorded on-chain, and your wallet address is like your signature. Here's an overview of the Create Proposal voting workflow. DAO list submit DAO-wide and working group proposal on behalf of the DAO. This stage is for proposal approval only. No funds are transferred yet. All proposals should be submitted on the same day, June 22nd. Let's have a look at the steps to submit. Go to Create Proposal. Fill in proposal description option. Choose the voting token. Define time limit. Confirm in MetaMask. Proposal voting created successfully will look like this. As you already know, the proposals are preliminarily qualified by DAO facilitator. Only the qualified proposals are listed in the DAO voting tracking sheet for DAO member to review and vote. And the voting tracking sheet look like this. Then, in the 7-day voting period, DAO member will review and vote on proposal listed in the DAO voting tracking sheet. Steps to vote are simple. Click the voting link in the voting tracking sheet, review detail and click vote. Choose your voting option, confirm in MetaMask. First, the important thing here is to keep in mind that each of the members is a reviewer to qualify the proposal and share your voice via the vote. Once the proposal is passed, the facilitator will initiate a send token voting for the first payment. As shared in DAO2Docs and onboarding phase, we follow 70-30 payment model. After execution, each DAO submit a completion report. Send token vote for second payment will be initiated if the report is qualified. Let's have a look at the step to create send token voting. Choose payment token USDT, fill in payment amount, recipient wallet, title, description, confirm in MetaMask. The 3-day voting period will begin immediately after confirmation. Then, DAO facilitator will add the voting to the DAO voting tracking sheet and notify DAO member to review and vote to process the payment. Once the quorum 34% is reached, send token voting can be activated by the DAO manager. After the send token voting is activated, payment will be auto-processed from the DAO wallet to the recipient wallet. Here's something beautiful about blockchain transparency. DAO members can view information of all transactions of your DAO in tab Info section Transaction History. You can click on the transaction ID to view public transaction detail on Polyscan. You can relate that with public bank statement in traditional. Now, during the first few weeks, we observed that some DAO members were highly active, while others still finding their place in the program. Our approach to strengthen active contribution of DEP2 participants instead of remove inactive member as we did in DEP1, DEP2 takes a different approach to increase the influence of active contributors through governance token. Active member will receive +1 GT after each phase based on participation and contribution to DAO deliverables. Active members gain greater influence in shaping the DAO and are entrusted to invite 1 or 2 members who can strengthen the DAO's capacity and execution. And if a working group lacks active leadership, the DAO should discuss whether rotation are needed. To implement this approach, there are 3 next steps. First, DF and DAO lead will identify active members by June 26th, and the additional GT will be allocated by July 3rd. Second, active members submit recommendation of new member by July 3rd. DF, DAO list, and working group list will review and confirm enrollment by July 10th. Third, each DAO should review the readiness of its working group leadership and decide rotation if necessary. The overall goal is simple: increase the influence of active contributors and strengthen execution capacity across all DAOs. That's all for now. Thank you for listening. If you have any question or discussion, please share in the chat box. We will follow up at the end of this meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Lin Cao, for your detailed sharing. So before we move on to the next part, let's take a photo together to capture this memorable moment. I would love to ask for the support from my team members, New and Yoon, to support me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, so I will assist you guys to take the photo together. Please kindly turn on your camera and also adjust your position or lighting if needed so that we can see all your beautiful faces and get your best smile. And I will count down. I will give like 20 seconds for everyone to turn on the camera. Okay. Now I will count down. Give us your best smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the support, New and Yoon. All right, and we capture all of these beautiful faces, smiles, and thanks a lot once again for your participation with us in this event. All right, so now let's move on to the next part. We will begin with the proposal preview and Q&A session, including members will introduce the initial drafted proposals. DAO facilitators will share their feedback. After that, DAO members are invited to join in open discussion. And finally, we will address key questions collected from the forum, if any. So now we will kickstart with the sharing from Cultural and Creative DAO. I would love to invite Mitch, is the DAO leader from CCD, to start this sharing with everyone. So hello, Mitch, and welcome back on stage.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, perfect. So can you share the screen?
Is it okay if I ask one of the DAO facilitators to share it?
Oh,
I'm
sure.
outside.
Okay, all right. So our team will support you to share the screen. Please wait for some seconds. Thank you. All right.
But while we're pulling it up, thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the members for being here, taking the time from your busy schedules and the different time zones that we have. So my name is Michelle Menez. I'm the lead for CCD, and my co-lead is Mfon, who is here, and there are other members of the CCD team who are also here. Happy to see them here as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Please let me know if we can start, Katie.
Yeah. So, Mitch, can you see the screen sharing from your side? We're doing that.
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you. So let's start. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll be presenting for CCD today. And let's go to the next slide, which actually shows the goal or the impact and regeneration that we intend. So the DAO will produce 400 verified cultural and creative outputs. So that's for the physical outputs. However, we also aim to generate at the minimum 3,000 USD in regenerative value through partnerships, sponsorships, workshops, showcases, publications, and cultural products. So the cultural products are actually physical outputs of our partners who are the women weavers in Visayas. And the other cultural output would be in video form by our partners in Mindanao. The other output that we also have will be in the form of spoken word from our partners who are carpenters in the Luzon node, which will be bamboo. So carpentry and bamboo. Now, why did we choose this approach? Because we think collectively through CCD that this approach contributes to Cambria's long-term vision by testing the decentralized cultural impact and developing replicable or repeatable regenerative value cycles. That's why we actually chose 3 different nodes or physical partners who are in 3 different islands in the Philippines. So I think that speaks to the decentralization as well. So the proposed regional cultural nodes are Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and the national capital region just as the central node. For the tone and spirit, it is community-centered as established by the indigenous peoples who we are partnered with. It is respectful and ethical because it is always mandatory for respect and ethics to be the guiding force, especially when we're talking about artwork or things that are made by people. We can't just say, hey, I own this because they own it. So there's the respect and ethics of that. It is also inclusive and collaborative because we make sure in CCD, even if though it's very hard, that we make sure to ask all the members, hey, attend, hey, contribute, hey, what do you think about this? So that's what we mean by inclusive and collaborative. We don't just move as one person. And creative and practical, it has to be creative because we're dealing with different cultures, different time zones, different people, different personalities. And it has to be practical because we're working with a timeline, we're working within a budget as well, and we're working within the rules and regulations under and within Cambria, as well as the internal rules that we have for CCD. It is also regenerative and sustainable because how can we expect these cultures, these products, this sharing to continue if we don't have a way to regenerate it and to sustain it? Global local ownership comes in because the members have their own contribution and they own it. I've experienced a lot of members who said, I was very busy, I had my exams, that is no excuse, that is my fault. So that is the ownership on their part. And then they did, how do you say this, risk mitigation, and they powered through it. Let's go to the next page, please. As you can see with the DAO involvement, I only function as the lead because I had experience before, but I cannot autonomously move on my own. Meaning, without the whole group's approval, their go signal, their, hey, Mitch, this looks wrong. Oh, we have to change it. We move as a group. Tiva, who is also here, is the lead for coordination. And she actually set up a meeting for all of us. It was really great and everybody participated. I appreciate Tiva so much for that. Empon. Oh, wow. I have to give a great shout out to Empon, who is always supportive, who always does his job, who's always in the meetings, and who took charge when it comes to this actual presentation. Now, Rafiat Adeleke and Casto Malimali Ronald Katate, I think they're also here, and I would love to hear from them as well in the coming sessions that we have. There is also Fatma Razik, who I would love to commend as well for stepping up and helping out. There are other members like Fatia, Tenega, Egbe, and Galili, and Padmore, who I hope are here. But there, as you can see in the presentation, we all have our own roles and our own responsibilities. And if one of us cannot do it, we make sure to, I don't know, in my language, pick up the slack, but then we bring it back to them. Hey, what do you want to do about your role? So let's go to the next slide, please. Now, when it comes to the plan, alignment, and workflow, there is an overview of the master plan, which is to preserve and amplify culture. Now we're talking about the cultures that are currently here in the Philippines, and we're talking about 3 cultures. But in order to preserve them, because these are disappearing cultures, these are, how do you say that? They're no longer applied really by everybody. For example, I'm not very knowledgeable about the culture of my own countrymen in the further south. So that's very shameful for me, but it's really great that Cambria is here to show me, hey, why don't you do this? Because here's the opportunity, and amplify it. Because even if it's here in the Philippines, it reaches Kenya, it reaches Iraq, it reaches other parts of the world. What more amplification do we want? There's global and local collaboration. In the coming weeks, the members of CCD as well as Cambria, I would love for you to meet the indigenous peoples of Tarlac, as well as the indigenous people in Mindanao, as well as the women weavers in Iloilo, so that we can really have an honest global and local collaboration. And there is measurable impact because the communities will really produce things. There are things that you can read, hold, see, not necessarily hold because not everyone's here, but you get, I think you get what I mean. So they're actual things. There are 400 verified outputs. All the while, we will be testing the regenerative capacity of these physical outputs. Can we sell these things? Can we market these things? How does the fund go back? So it's a testing way for us to do so. The working group plans that we have, by the way, are coordination working group. So governance, reporting, budget, oversight, timelines, and the cross for every working group, because sometimes other working groups need help. We understand that. That's why we have coordination to make sure these working groups are talking to each other. We also have the execution and cultural documentation and creative production of stories, articles, graphics, videos, and multimedia. So this is the group who will actually either compile, trace, and make sure it is accessible. Now, there's also documentation working group. They will be archive management because you can't measure what you can't track. And if you can't find it, it doesn't exist. So documentation will make sure we can all track it. And for the final group, it is regeneration. They are in charge of partnerships, workshops, showcases, sponsorship, fundraising, and revenue generating activities. Later on in the program, we will tackle exactly with what these are because it's very, very exhaustive and it's a lot of information. So the strategic workflow that we have, as you can see, we start first with the community documentation because that's where it's really going to start. We get it from there, from the community, and creative production will find a way to translate it so that archive and knowledge can make a library and an accessible database for all members. And then the last working group is regeneration and partnerships, because they're the ones who are going to take everything and find a way how we can regenerate these funds and sustain us. So for the measurable outcomes on the next page, please. There we go. Coordination working group will have 40 outputs. Documentation, the target is archive and knowledge. They will have 80 outputs. Execution will have 200 outputs. So it's a lot, I know, but it's broken up into two for creative production and cultural documentation. For regeneration, the target is the community engagement of 80 outputs. And for all of that, so the total is 400 outputs. We intend to regenerate 3,000 USDT from there. So the budget request is for the 3 nodes, it varies. There's different amounts because with the women weavers, they have to start from scratch with the cloth, the pattern. That's why it's at 700. And it's documentation of weaving traditions, artisan interviews, and community workshop, cultural storytelling, and local logistics, plus documentation support. Let me go to the Tarlac node, which is 600. It's almost the same. However, with Tarlac, we are working with indigenous people. So these are I don't know what you call it in other countries or cultures, but these are what we call the minority groups. It's the same as in the Mindanao Cultural Node. We will be dealing with minority groups. So the working group operational support for each working group will be, or pardon me, sorry, my mistake. For the whole working group, it's $400. So it's, for example, for Canva, for internet, for what else is needed? If they need ChatGPT, so it's for support for them. And DAO coordination and governance. This is so that when it is needed to travel to the Tarlac node or to the Visayas node, although travel to the southern part is prohibitive since there is what we call armed conflict there. So it's only to the two nodes. There's also contingency reserve, which will be given to the working group as needed. Let's go to the next page, please. So the funding and regeneration. Sorry, it's really hot where I'm at. So the funding release schedule, it comes in two tranches. The first tranche, following Cambria's rules, are 70%, and that will be cascaded or given to the nodes. And the nodes, or Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, they will also have to meet certain key performance metrics, meaning they can't just get everything. They have to produce something. So it goes for everyone as well. The second tranche is done. So the regeneration strategy components include the cultural workshops, the prints, the donation-based storytelling, the cross-DAO events, which we will need to communicate with other DAO groups. There are also educational talks, I think, that we can do. There are sponsored showcases, and this is something I'm really excited about. Digital zines, because I heard the Gen Zs love this, but please correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not Gen Z. So the collaboration we have with external partners, this is only the basic because it's the Luzon Visayas node. The site leads for that are Kawayan Collective Tarlac. The Visayas node is Modern Ilongga. The Mindanao node is Balay Kasamtangan. So I'm happy to say that these are all women-led site leads as well. So in regard to the gender lens, we are providing more. And next page, please. Oh, next page, please, so we can see the pictures and the logos. As you can see, you can also check that they are legitimate, not only companies, but social enterprises. So these are their official logos. These are who we are partnering with. As you can see with Kawayan Collective, it is the indigenous people in the, excuse me, in the north. With Modern Ilongga, it is the women weavers in Visayas. And in the south, it is Balay Kasamtangan with Bai Ming, a matriarch leader. So it is the final page that we have. I hope I stayed within Katie's very strict 8 to 10 minutes. But while I have the time, I really want to stress that what we're trying to do here is something really new, something that we all need the cooperation and collaboration of everybody. And I think I speak for the whole team. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much, Meech. I can see the passions you put into the slides and when you represent the team. And once again, thanks a lot for the support from Amphone as well. Yeah, we have the perfect presentation. Thanks a lot for CCD team members. All right, so now I would love to ask for the support from my team members to share the screen. After we listen to the sharing and also observe the presentation flow of CCD, we would love to share the feedback from the side of DAO facilitators, including me and Nora. Okay, so please wait for some seconds. Yeah, so please move to the DF feedback. All right, so right here, we would love to talk about the key strengths and the points that we can improve more with CCD team. All right, so for the key strengths. First about strategic responsiveness. We see that with the responsiveness, responsibility, and solution-oriented mindset, this one support the team a lot. And we have the support from the two DAO leaders with Enfo and Mitch, and committed members played an important role in turning challenges around and maintaining momentum. And second, we would love to talk about the vision-driven mission. So, when talking about the Roots in Mind's mission, this one presents a clear and meaningful vision of empowering local Philippine communities while leveraging the collective expertise of the global DAO network, creating both local impact and global collaboration at the same time. Third, we would love to mention about the financial accountability. After the first feedback from internal team of DAO facilitator, I see that in the plan you recognize and you also mention about the 70 and also like 30% of the budget release. This structure will help you guys balance early stage mobilization with accountability for delivering final outcomes. And finally, it's about the strength in working group alignment. I see that we noted about the 4 working groups, right? And this one shows strong alignment with master plan at this time, forming a cohesive workflow that connects documentation, creative production, regeneration efforts, and long-term impact. So in overall, the strength suggests a proposal that is responsive, mission-driven, financially accountable, and well-coordinated across teams. Yeah, so here are the strengths. All right, so next slide, please. And about what we can improve. So right here, we would love to suggest some key points. First is about the workflow synchronization. Since we see that creative production working group and regeneration working group depend on the materials from cultural documentation working group. So when we can organize weekly sync meeting, I think it is highly recommended to avoid any delays. Second is about the data quality control. As the project outputs rely heavily on field photos or audio, establishing a quality control feedback loop in week number 1 will help maintain the production standards from the beginning. Third is about the financial liquidity. So when you mention about the 70 budget for the first release, it should prioritize like essential operational costs. For example, we have internet or data expenses, right? So we can focus on that one to ensure the smooth implementation for the whole team. And finally, it's about the regeneration readiness. I can take an example here. To support the target of 20 outreach attempts, so the sponsor deck template you guys can discuss to prioritize in week number 1, so outreach activities can begin immediately. It also supports the smooth coordination and implementation for the whole CCD team. Yeah, so overall, from these improvements and recommendations, we would love to focus on the improving coordination, quality, financial readiness, and also outreach efficiency from CCD team, aligned with the master plan and the 4 working group plans till now. Okay, so after this event, we will also share with you guys again about the key strengths for you guys to strengthen that, and also to reshare with you guys about the improvement side so that you guys can work further before our finalization. All right, so that's it for my sharing. And yeah, after this feedback section, we will move to the open discussion. Yeah, so we have the open discussion, welcome everyone and also CCD members. Yeah, so let's kickstart with everyone. So after listening to the slides presentation and also from the information from CCD, maybe we have from 10 to 12 minutes from the sharing from Mitch, right? We would love to ask that, do you have any feedback for the CCD team to improve the plan? And for this question, we would love to invite one, like another member from other DAO. All right, so let me have a quick check for our participant today. All right, so I would love to invite Okiki from ED, from Exchange DAO. Yeah, hello, Kiki.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's nice to be here Nice to be
Yeah.
here with you. Hello, Mitch. I loved your presentation. I loved your work. You're doing a very, very great work. Yeah, I followed up on the whole presentation and everything was so great. I understand everything. I just have a question. Would you be having remote connections, like remote interactions in sharing these cultural experiences? Are they all going to be um, physical meetups, or if you're going to have anyone remote, I was thinking if we could do a collaboration, maybe you could do some of these things on Exchange DAO, our CED platform. I planned on reaching out to you after this meeting, but since I was called upon to speak, I guess I can just ask you now.
Okay, perfect. For the collaboration that I can see that can move forward. All right, and everyone, when we talking about things in this open discussion section, we welcome every single feedback or suggestions for the team. All right. So if you cannot turn on your mic right now, you can type your sharing in the chat box. Yeah, I see that Mr. Amit Saha, you raise your hands, right? Yeah. So kindly share with us your thoughts or suggestions.
Yeah, it was a very excellent presentation on cultural and creative DAO. Thank you. My question is like for all the DAO groups, is it possible to have a common um, communication or a platform to record the document or the documentation to have a common for all the groups so that we have a common way to collect all the feedback or all the sessions. Is it possible? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So currently, I would love to confirm that you're asking about CCD, particularly, or you're asking about the whole DAO, like the 4 DAOs, about the feedback channel or something?
No, it is for the whole DAO for all the sessions. Is it possible, like whenever there is a recording of a session, that we have a common recording for all the DAO? Yeah.
Yeah, so currently this meeting is being recorded and the recording will be shared later after this event. And yeah, so we also collect the questions and answers in the chat box at the same time during the whole session. And because of the time limitation, so our team will share some key suggestion and discussions in this event. And later on, you can check again with the FAQ page. And if you still have any different suggestions, you can feel free to share with us in the chat box. We will collect that and share with you guys later.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Mr. Amit Saha. All right, so now I would love to back to the CCD members because we truly want to listen your perspectives as well. So today, joining with us, we also have Fong and Tiba, all right? So I would love to invite Tiba first. So as a CCD member, how was your experience working decentralized to create the proposal? Can you share with everyone?
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you, Katie, for this introduction. First, it was kind of hard because it was something new, something we are not familiar with, and we tried to cope with it during meetings, like the weekly meetings, and trying to understand what is the master plan, and about the thing that we discussed about the 3 notes. And after reviewing the master plan and after having Mitch to sorry, I just had an internet issue for a second. it was really inspiring to see all of that and what Mitch said about these three nodes and how are they these things they are doing, like the weavers and the bamboo guys. uh, I think it's going to be a quiet experience for us, and I'm looking forward for it.
Okay, thank you so much, Atiba, for the sharing. And in the whole journey to now with CCD, thanks a lot for your coordination and your passions in the coordination group. It supports the whole team a lot in completing the small or even the big milestones. All right, thank you so much. All right, so everyone, we have just got through the presentation from Meet, represent for the CCD team. And also we have the sharing from Okiki and also Tiba from CCD. Yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoy the presentation with all of the format, feedback, and sharing. Okay, so before we stop the sharing from CCD, we would love to mention about the next steps with key milestones. Okay, so as you can follow on the screen, my member will support you guys to spotlight the screen. Okay, so let's take a quick overview of the next steps. So we've just got through the milestones of completing the first draft of the proposals, and we received the submission of you guys via Google Drive. So move on to the next milestone. We will focus on the finalization of all master plan and working group plan. This one will support us to be ready before the submission on XDAO and voting on XDAO officially. And we will have like a 7-day period for voting time. Till that date, we will absolutely announce to you guys the milestone on Discord and via email at the same time, so you guys can follow up with what's next. Okay, and in the meantime, if you guys have any questions related to the technical support or something, kindly share with us via Discord. And yeah, move on to the next milestone. Right here, you will see that after we pass the finalization and also everything is well, like it's perfect after the qualification checklist, we will move to the 70% of the first payment. And after that, we will execute our approved master plan and working group plan. And yeah, we will also prepare for the DEP execution sync event on August 14th this month. This year. All right, so that's all for the sharing of the key milestones of CCD. So once again, thank you for all of the efforts and contributions made by CCD members so far. We hope that with the feedback, that will help you guys to strengthen your proposals and ensure that you're well prepared for the upcoming XDAO voting process with the high quality proposals. Okay, thank you. All right, so that's for CCD. And now we move on to the next sharing is from Exchange DAO.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank
hello
you.
everyone.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to introduce Okiki as a DAO lead to represent the team to share about Exchange DAO proposal presentation. So please welcome Okiki.
Hello everyone. Okiki Chinedu Emmanuel, the team lead for Exchange DAO.
Okay.
I'll be sharing my screen now. Just give me a minute to share my screen. Right. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes. Please
Okay.
show this slideshow this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Exchange DAO. So we are Exchange DAO, and this slide was prepared and it's going to be presented by the Exchange DAO working group leads. So in Exchange DAO, our goal is to create lasting impact through 500 meaningful learning sessions while building sustainable pathways for community growth. The DAO aims to strengthen knowledge exchange, partnerships, and regenerative models that can continue beyond cohort 2. And we all know that cohort DEP 2 is strictly focused on regenerative model, trying to create regenerative models so that DAOs can continue and DAOs can self-sustain themselves. So why this approach? Change DAO uses peer-to-peer learning to enable meaningful knowledge exchange, collaboration, and community-driven growth. The model empowers partnership to learn from the model empowers participants to learn from one another through real-time one-on-one sessions. Now, we all have I need to just give me a minute. Once in a while we people interact, peer groups interact, and they interact informally, like they just interact and with no direct topic. But in Exchange DAO, using the CED platform, we're going to create categories. We're going to have topics. We're going to have trained guides, which are going to be the hosts. We're going to have trained guides, which will host these sessions, create sessions, host them, and our team will audit these sessions before they're even uploaded to the platform to make sure every topic, every session put out there is a quality session. Now, the tone and spirit will be community driven. Since we are a community, it's a DAO, which is a community. It's going to be inclusive. Everyone is going to be inclusive, both the internal team and the external participants. It's going to be collaborative and most of all regenerative. So Exchange DAO promotes authentic peer-to-peer shared ownership, authentic peer learning, shared ownership, and meaningful participation.
Yeah, maybe it's because of the internet connection.
Listed out the working group leads. The DAO. Hello, am I?
Yeah, it's perfect now. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. So we have Dr. Amit Saha, who is the working group, the documentation working group lead. We have Desiree Haman, the partnerships lead. We have Onu Stella, which is in charge of communications. We have Sebastian in charge of the session design and facilitation working group. So the overview of the master plan is it outlines a decentralized peer-to-peer learning ecosystem focused on meaningful one-on-one sessions, collaboration, and regenerative knowledge exchange. It aims to empower guides and explorers through structured learning, governance, and sustainable community growth. Then I'll be calling on my different working group leads to just say a few things about their plan. So I'll be calling on this. First, I'll be calling on the session design and facilitation lead, Onu Stella. Stella, please, can you hop on?
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first one we have here is the section design and facilitation working group, which focuses on delivering structured, high-quality learning sections by onboarding guides and explorers, ensuring effective facilitation, and maintaining a section booking system with strong quality standards and documentation. This is going to enable us so that when these people actually get onboarded, the sections are going to be properly designed and well structured, so it doesn't look like we don't know what we are doing.
Okay, thank you very much, Stella. Thank you. The next working group is the communications and community working group. This working group drives community engagement, onboarding, and storytelling through consistent communication, content creation, and participant interaction across internal and external channels. So it passes information both internally and externally. Internally means the participants we've onboarded, both the host and the participants. We are going to and the explorers. We're going to have Discord channels for them where they all exist. They can all share information, and also get information about sessions that are available, sessions that have been created, and they can also report if they have any problem. They can also report there. Then also, this working group will also be in charge of sharing information externally. So they also make up they compose stories, content, great content, and a lot of things, and they share it to the external world on LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, which are the Cambria's three social media platforms. So they share it there so that it helps also create that visibility and brings in the sponsorship for us. Then next is the Regeneration and Partnership Working Group, which aims to build external partnerships and sponsorships and transform session outputs into regenerative assets, such as reports, case studies, and funding opportunities for long-term sustainability. So in this working group, they work on creating external partnerships and sponsorships so that these sessions can be held for free for individuals, because knowledge is one of the most expensive things, as we all know. But we're trying to get sponsorships so that sessions can be held. So we've been thinking of different kind of sponsorships, and we'll be thinking about reaching out to NGOs. Like an example is climate actions NGO, climate action organization, where they can where we can host sessions on climate advocacy, and they sponsor it, and we get to inform inform people about climate changes, about environmental sustainability. Then the next is the Documentation and Archive Working Group. So I'll be calling on Mr. Amit Saha to speak on this. Mr. Amit, your turn.
Yes, thank you, Kenki. So this is the documentation is the backbone for this particular group, because we have to ensure that whatever is presented is logged and is properly validated and it is transparent, so that we can achieve the goal of 500 sessions. So, so that is the main objective for the whole documentation, and we are going to use some tools to ensure that it is done 100% accurate, and right from the registration of the session till it is finally documented, and it is I mean, as Okeki suggested, that it will be free sessions, but we will take the help of partners, some NGOs and other groups, to ensure that it is sustainable. So the whole process of documentation will be done using the Google Sheets and other tools that we'll be doing with the different team members who have come forward to work with me, and to ensure that it is done properly and the data is captured using the proper dashboards, that is automated to some extent. We will ensure that it will give us reminders every week that how many sessions you have completed, and if there is less sessions, then it will send up a trigger, so that we can take some actions, proactive actions immediately. And I look forward to any feedback or questions for this particular group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Amit Saha. Yep. So moving on, the key outcomes we will achieve from each working group plans. So for the session design and facilitation working group, we'll need to have at least 100 explorers onboarded. We have 20 guides that have been trained, and we'll also deliver at least 500 structured sessions. Then the regenerative goal here is to develop scalable peer learning system with sustained session engagement across cohort 2. Then the next, the communications and community working group, we aim to develop high community engagement, improved onboarding, and consistent DAO visibility across platforms. The goal is to develop strong participant retention and increased DAO awareness through storytelling and content. The next working group is the regeneration and partnership. We aim to achieve 5 external partnerships, 2 sponsor a session initiatives where we reach out to organizations and they choose to sponsor a session. We'll get the cost for hosting a single session, and they sponsor any amount of sessions they want to. Then the next is 10 plus regenerative assets produced. Then the regenerative goal is sustainable funding and external collaboration ecosystem for long-term DAO growth. Then next, we have the documentation and archive working group. Its goal is to achieve 100% validation of 500 sessions, real-time tracking system, and final DAO summary report delivery. The regenerative goal is fully transparent, auditable data system, supporting tokenomics and DAO scalability. Then our budget request. For our budget request, we are allocating 300 USDT for community activation meetups and workshops. So we're going to have physical meetups at different communities with high demography of participants and DAO members. So we host these meetups, we engage them, tell them about the CED platform, interest them, just enlighten them about the platform. The next is the session design and facilitation, which will be allotted 250 USDT. So this will cover session structuring, facilitation frameworks, and delivering systems to ensure high quality learning experiences. So this working group will be in charge of providing a framework on how sessions should be structured, and also validating these sessions before they are put up on the platform. And after these sessions are held, they also validate it to make sure that this session, both the participants and the guide, were all satisfied. Then the next is the documentation and knowledge, which is allotted 250 USDT to support the validation, logging, and archiving of data. The next is communications and community engagement operations, allotted 300 USDT, which enables content creation, onboarding, communication, storytelling, and continuous community engagement. The next is Regenerative and Partnership Development Fund, which is 300 USDT. We'll use this to set up meetings, prepare emails, drafts, and everything we need to reach out to sponsors, people that want to partner with, so we can see how many of these partners and sponsors we can get. The next is the reward for guides and hosts. So we're allotting 1,500 USDT for guides for providing exceptional or near perfect sessions, because our goal is also to provide quality sessions. So guides that can give very good sessions, after the auditing, the sessions is a very good session, then they are likely to get rewards. Then finally, we have the contingency, which is 100 USDT. The proposal, the collaboration with partners. Give me a minute, please. The collaboration with external partners. So that Exchange DAO will collaborate with universities, NGOs, and organizations to expand learning opportunities and create real-world impact through peer-to-peer sessions. These partnerships will also sponsor a session initiative, knowledge exchange, and regenerative growth beyond the DAO ecosystem. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you, Okiki, Amisaha, Onustala, all the working group leads and on Exchange DAO member for putting on the great work and spend your time and effort to build this amazing master plan and working group plan and spend the time for today's meeting. So move forward, I will share a bit of, as a DAO facilitator, we will share a bit about our comments and feedbacks on your proposal. Okay, so the first thing is please wait for a few seconds for the slide to settle. Okay, so the first thing is I want to share about our key strength on working on the master plan, working group plan. So the first thing is that there is a strong organizational design throughout the plans. So the roles, responsibility, workflows, and reporting structures are clearly established across all the working groups. And so it's create a solid operational framework for the cohort 2 and for everyone member to interact and work toward the goal. The next things, the next key strengths is the next key things is about the comprehensive um, execution strategies where DAO combines session delivery, community engagement, documentation, and regeneration activities within a very cohesive system that designed to support both the impact goal and also the regenerative and sustainable goal for the long-term run. And the final key strength is strong accountability and reporting system. So the DAO has, as Exchange DAO has established a clear documentation, validation, reporting, and quality assurance system and processes across all the working groups. So it established a very strong foundation for transparency, progress tracking, and evidence-based decision making to inform other decision and process in the execution phase. So that is the key strength that we as the DAO facilitator have observed. And now we can move on to a more room for improvement that we can do for reviewing the DAO. So the first key improvement is about the workflow alignment. So cross working group dependencies, as all working group leads have identified, but there should be a need for a clear workflow between session design, documentation, communication, and regeneration working groups as a whole, rather than individual work or unitary work. And so this would strengthen the coordination and execution phase when we work toward executing the plan. And the next thing to improve is about paying more attention to the regeneration pathway. So every Exchange DAO member needs to consider clarifying how session outcomes, participant stories, or community engagement activities will be converted into sponsorship opportunities, partnership proposal, and other regenerative assets that contribute to the DAO sustainability goals. And given the example of the regeneration metrics, the plan would be strengthened by linking regeneration activities to expected financial outcomes. So we give an example here. So if sponsor a session initiative is expected to generate approximately $500 and partnership contribute to an additional $2,000 in value of funding. So the pathway toward the DAO 3,000 regeneration target will become much more clear and easier to track in terms of number and quantitative data rather than the qualitative measuring. So it would be a better improvement for the regeneration metrics for documentation and further our execution. So that is all about the key feedbacks on strengths and improvement that I want to give to the Exchange DAO member to finalize on their working group plans and master plan to be prepared for the XDAO voting. So moving on, I will share a bit about the next step that and timeline that we need to follow. So as we see and follow on the timeline, we have finalized the master plan and the working group plan. So for now, there's the opportunity for you all to revise the feedback, making some adjustment or correction if needed based on DAO facilitator feedbacks, and be prepared for submitting the final proposal and voting on XDAO. So there is a fixed window from June 22nd to June 29. So for you to officially submit on your proposal and doing the voting with the due date on June 29th. So please pay attention on the timeline and to do everything on time and promptly. And if you need any support, please first reach out to the Discord community so that you guys can get one-on-one or immediate action or support from us before, if there any further question or prop issue, you can contact us via the contact form if needed. But please reach out to the Discord community first. Okay, so for next things is about the plan of July when we're doing the real execution of the approved master plan, working group plan, when the first payment of 70% will be received. And there's a timeline that will follow this, but I will not dive down deeply into it at this point because we need to draft things up for the XDAO voting and further discussion and further DAO weekly meeting. I will provide more information about that. So please don't worry too much. Okay, so that is all about sharing from DAO facilitators and the feedbacks and updates that I need to provide to all the Exchange DAO members. And thank you for your patience. Now I will pass the mic to Yun for more interaction and asking about your opinion and sharings. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Before we move to the Q&A, what after hearing quickly our presentation, do you have any feedback, suggestion, or ideas that could help strengthen any of the agenda plan? We will especially welcome insights on collaboration, implementation, or regeneration, and community engagement. Okay, I see mission. Can you turn on your mic?
Hi. I would like to congratulate Exchange DAO. It was very well presented, and I really liked that they had both Chinedu and Amit speaking, because it so shows the collaboration that you guys have inside your very own team. Plus, the suggestion you guys had, I really want to work on it. Right now, I just don't know how. So let's help each other. But that's such a good suggestion. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mission, for your request for collaboration. I think that in Exchange date, maybe OKK, you will reach out to CC Nation for the future collaboration. So next, I would like to hear from some of our Exchange DAO members. How was your experience working in a decentralized environment to develop your proposal? Like what worked well, what challenges did you face, and what lesson would you want to share with other DEP participants? So perhaps Okiki or one of our working group lead would like to share a reflection. Oh. Hello,
Yeah.
can we hear you? Okay.
Okay, hello. Okay, let me share. First, it was nice. No, I'm already familiar with working in a decentralized platform because of DEP 1, but here, when we started at first, I found out that some members didn't really understand the way the whole thing works. So I had to slow down. I had to slow down. I had to even had a one-on-one call with some of my team members so I can explain every single thing we are doing. So I had to organize one-on-one call. I had a call with Dr. Ahmad Shah. I had a call with um Dr. I think his name is he's on the call. I really can't pronounce his name. I had a call with several persons so I can explain the whole thing to them. But I'm really happy now because they've all caught up, like they all understand what we're doing and they're all following up. I don't know if Sebastian is on the call right now. I would really want him to also speak and say something. Yeah, Sebastian, please can you speak? He's on the call.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Yes, I was one of the YG lead for the session design. Sorry, a little bit. So basically, do I need to present something?
No, you don't. Just state your experience working in Exchange DAO so far.
Oh yeah, sure. For the first time I was joining, there's a little bit having issue with my internet connections, and I think that I kind of a bit lost for catching up with my team. But somehow, for all the members in Exchange DAO have been helping me a lot. I've been texting one of the lead as well. We exchanged how we could help each other out, and he also one of the amazing people outside. Okiki was helping me to explain a bit that I was I think that because I was joined later on, I didn't know about how the master plan stuff, but actually we kind of catch up later and understood how the working plan will be applied. That's from me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for Okiki and Sebastian for your sharing your thoughts and suggestion. Now we have to select one question that may be valuable for all participants. Okay. So there is a question that from as a program transition from planning to implementation, what are the most actions that working reflect that members should prioritize and add in any example or resources from previous DEP cohort that can help newer participants understand how to contribute effectively? And about our answer here, like from previous DEP cohort, one of the biggest success factors that was not having the most ambitious plan but maintain strong communication, accountability, and consistent contribution to our implementation. We also encourage everyone to review the Excel guideline, quick start guide, and the DEP implementation timeline and next step resources. So these materials should provide practical guidance on proposal workflow, governance processes, upcoming milestone, and key action expected from all participants. This is the end of the Q&A exchange DAO. Thank you everyone for your participation and thoughtful contribution. We appreciate all questions, suggestions, and reflections shared today. With that, so we'll wrap up discussion segment and we move to our next DAO presentation. Let's welcome Tokenomics DAO. The floor is yours.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce our DAO lead, which is Abdi. And together with Abdi, we will have Ruhi, they would like to present the proposal for CAT token community DAO. So please welcome them and listen to them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. So, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we
great.
can. Yeah.
So, we are the Cat Economics DAO. Myself, I'm the DAO leader, Abdulrahman Shibani, and Shaimo Abugani. We have the working group leads with us. Our mission is to design and validate practical governance, contribution, and coordination and recognition systems for decentralized communities. The vision is a CAT Nexus framework where, rather than operating solely as a tokenomics project, CAT Economics DAO is positioning itself as an experimental governance and contribution laboratory. Our goal is to create reusable frameworks, governance models, operational playbooks, and technical tools that can be adopted by future Cambria cohorts and other DAOs. Our framework architecture has 5 core layers. Sorry. The contribution layer, which has the contribution tracking activity records, the contributor profiles, and the reputation layer, which has the reputation scores, the achievement badges, the trust indicators, and the governance layer. The proposal workflows contained in the governance layer, and the voting mechanisms, the governance experiments, and then we have the coordination layer. Coordination layer has the working group collaborations, reporting workflows, and project tracking. And then finally, we have the intelligence layer, which we hope to achieve if the budget and time allows, with be it minimal AI assisted reporting or expanded knowledge bases, etc. Meeting summaries, governance analysis, how that works. So there's a slight delay. And the working group structures are as follows. The framework working group, the framework application working group has the framework design, the governance standards, the contribution framework. The system prototyping working group focuses mainly on the development of the dashboard, MVP, analytics, systems, technical implementation. And then we have the DAO support and audit working group. It works on the governance, review, risk management, and compliance monitoring. And finally, we have the documentation and learning working group. These are lessons learned, learning resources, reporting, knowledge capture. And now for the requested budget. So far, we're aiming for framework application group to have 800 USDT, and that's for the purposes of obviously developing the framework. And then the systems prototyping, which is one of the main cores we have, the dashboard prototyping from the MVP, how it's going to look like, the systems design, etc. And then the DAO support and audit working group for the governance validation, whatever tool necessary, and then the documenting and reporting equaling 3,000 USDT. And now I leave the floor to my colleague Ruhu. So, Ruhu, would you like me to present, or you can present?
Present the slides and I'll talk about it.
Okay, right.
So the collaboration and the synergy of the CAT framework, we have the framework application working group, which design the rules and the framework specs. We have the system prototyping for building the dashboard and the tools, and we have the DAO support and audit working group that reviews and audits all working groups, and the documentation and learning working group. So the framework gives the system prototyping the framework specs, and also the governance rules for the DAO support and the audit group. The audit group, the previous slide, please. Okay. The system prototyping and the audit group, they are relaying data. So it's a cross-view coordination layer. For the audit group and the documentation layer, the documentation layer collects the data and the audit groups audit the report. And for the system prototyping and the documentation working group, how they work together is the dashboard data. Next slide, please. What we have accomplished so far is the DAO master plan, the working group structure, the synergy map, the governance framework design, the contribution recognition model, the risk framework, the dashboard MVP scope, and the visionization strategy. Next slide, please. Our next steps are for June, the planning and preparation, that's where we are. So we are finalizing the working group action plans, executing overall DAO voting and complete execution preparations. For July and August, we are building and validating, so that includes deploying the dashboard MVP, initiate experimental governance iterations, and validate that Nexus framework. And for September, it's where we are reporting and showcasing what we have done so far. So we are compiling all cohort reports and launching the main showcase and formulating definitive DEP3 recommendations. Next slide. And thank you for listening. Yes, that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for your presentation. Now, let's move to some short feedback from our perspective as a DS of DFO Catoeconomics DAO. We really appreciate all of your effort to deliver the master plan as well as working group plan. So we have some short feedback for as an overview for you to finalize the plan and the proposal. Okay. First, I want to point out some key strengths I have observed from all of your effort. First is the infrastructure first thinking. The DAO positions itself as a foundational infrastructure layer for the Cambria ecosystem rather than an activity-oriented DAO. A clear-headed and appropriate interpretation of the catoeconomic DAO role in DEP2 and the focus on producing reusable frameworks, templates, and a dashboard prototype that future cohorts can adapt reflects strong long-term strategic thinking. The structure course working group pipeline, the documentation and audit flow across the 4 working group is well designed and easy to understand for everyone. The documentation and learning working group capture and structure data, the DAO's support and audit working group independently verifies, and the framework application working group fits governance standard, and the system prototyping working group automates the process, creating a coherent end-to-end operational chain rather than 4 isolated work streams. Financial accountability and output gating. The milestone linked payment structure, OCRP, are adopted by the DAO support and audit working group, and documentation and learning working group is a strong governance design. Compensation follows verified output, not like time spent. The inclusion of a 50% slippage penalty and reserve votes
adds a further layer of fiscal discipline that reflects well on the DAO's seriousness about delivery, technical ambition grounded in MVP thinking. The system prototyping working group 5-phase engineering plan is realistic and well sequenced with an explicit MVP before perfection principle carried through from the master plan to the working group plan, and the tech stack mentioned in the document is production appropriate, and the deliverables are specific and testable. And finally, is the CAD framework alignment. A careful reading of the CAD Nexus framework architecture shows that its 5 layers map closely onto the canonical CAD reward and privilege framework version 1.0. Layer 1 contribution corresponds to Cambria credits, layer 2 reputation to Cambria Karma, layer 3 governance to the GT Council rotation model, and layer 4 coordination to the operational life cycle. The contribution tracking table also correctly applies the derivation formula. The thinking is aligned, but it just needs clear labeling. And I want to move to some improvement. First is I think first of all is the framework naming clarity. The CatNext framework is my misunderstand presented as something the DAO is designing from scratch, which risk creating the impression that the DAO, categonomic DAO, is building a parallel framework rather than applying cat reward and privilege framework 1.0. Maybe I think a single clarifying sentence added to the master plan section 4, stating that the CatNexus framework is the DAO's name implementation of framework 1.0, not like a replacement, can resolve this misinterpretation. Consider also renaming a bit of the primary framework application working group deliverable from the CatNexus framework version 1 to like CatNexus application framework version 1 to make the relationship explicit. And secondly is the budget consistency. The framework application working group budget milestone gating. Unlike the other 3 working group, the framework application working group haven't delivered the milestone link payment triggers. I think adding a simple 3 checkpoint payment schedule like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, 4 could bring it in line with the DAO's own financial accountability standards and give reviewers confidence that the budget is equally governed. And finally is the cash settlement terminology in the master plan. The contribution tracking table labels the final column CAT earn, which rewards as CAT being issued immediately per action. Seeing CAT reward privilege framework 1.0 specifies that CAT is derived settlement time, not per action. Renaming column to CAT at settlement example and adding one line footnote clarifying the batch settlement process could remove any compliance ambiguity at 0 cost to the content. So here is just like quick feedback, and I will add like more detailed feedback onto the comment of the DAO drive, and for you to finalize of this later. And I also send the slides for you guys for you to review in your own time. Yeah, so I want to pass the mic to my colleague New to have like a slide discussion with the categonomic DAOs and other DAO in the cohort.
Yeah, thank you, Zoe, for sharing your feedback. And now I think like I want to open space for everyone. If you guys have any feedback for the KTD DAO to improve their proposal, you can raise your hands and then I would like to invite you to share. In the meantime, I want to hear more about the members of KTD about their experience working decentralized. I would like to invite like Bana or Andrew. Do you guys want to share? Bana, you want to share?
Oh, let me just go
Hello.
ahead.
Yeah,
Hello.
thank you, Andrew. Yeah.
Okay. I hope you guys have had a wonderful morning. It's a morning on my side. I've already gone through and I've listened to the presentation. Thank you, Shibani, for the awesome presentation, and also Ruhi for also the detailed details that you have put into the presentation. In regards to working decentralized, I appreciate my co-members, including Adekunle. We have been in conversation throughout this onboarding phase, and I appreciate the contribution and the engagement that comes with my fellow members. At the moment, I've already given my feedback. We have already I've been in partnership with my dependencies, especially the documentation and learning working group. We have already drafted our working groups, and I encourage everyone, including those not in the KTD DAO, to have a look at the working proposals and to also share their feedback in terms of what they think needs to be updated on our end, and also hope to work with them as we will be doing the auditing and also the quality management and risk management with them, because we'll be able to work hand in hand with the working group leads from each and every DAO in the DEP system. And I hope to work with them in the future. Yeah, that is all.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. And I see that people have some question for KTD
Okay.
in the chat box. So I believe that you guys can type your answer down. Also, I would love to take this moment to answer some of the questions for KTD. I would love to share my screen again. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. So I got very good two questions. First one was from our DAO lead, Abdi. He asked about like what the expectation for cross-DAO collaboration during the executions. So our answer is that we don't mandate a single review process. So DAO member are expected to take the lead to reach out directly when in your master plan you identify that there is dependencies on another DAO, especially for KTD. But we will have facilitate the introductions where needed, especially in the early execution if a DAO is struggling to make the content. But I also suggest that you are like target to the right one. For example, to the DAO list of each other DAO, and through the process, if there is any things that you face the issue. For example, if other DAO list they don't respond, they don't prioritize, or the scope is shift, please like let us know as soon as possible, so we can support you, or we can together figure out like the solutions. And I think that is a good practice. We will evaluate the DAO based on how they handle the kind of breach and other kind of dependencies, so that we can like reach our target in as we have raised in the proposal. Okay. Another question that I have that we have received is that if whether the timeline will increase if there is or they are an inactive member. So we want to say that both the program timeline and the DAO internal timeline can be like flexible. They can adjust so that it fits what best serve for the DAO goal. So the member inactivity shouldn't have to put your deliverable as risk. I think the more important is how to work it out. Like the working group lead and DAO lead can redistribute the task, assign the tasks to the member that more active, and encourage to flash any capacity gap to the DAO facilitator early, so we can support you. And we also share our approach to strengthen the active contribution from DAO member in the onboarding overview presentation. Okay. Okay. So the next is that I would like to share the next step and the timeline. We have the milestone where we need to finalize the master plan and working group plan after you guys receive the DAO facilitator review on June 21 is the latest deadline. And then we will submit the proposal and voting on each DAO. We have about 7 days from June 22 to June 29. In the meantime, whether you have any issue or confusion, you can reach out the contact form or try Discord for via support first. Also, in the July 6th, there were the first payment receiver, and the other DAO will execute the approved plan starting from July 30. And also we will have the fixed event, the DEP2 execution event on August 14. So before that, please make sure that you prepare the proposal summarize and confirm your attendance to the execution sync meeting. And that's it. I think that we have presented all we know about KTD, and I would like to pass the mic to the next DAO, which is the PPD.
Hello everyone. So I would like to introduce our so I would like to introduce our PPD members, which is Maywood, Mora, and Bismarck, to turn on their camera and mic so that they can present to us our presentation.
Yes. Can you hear me again?
Yes,
Thank you so
we can.
much. Thank you so much, Nell. As part of as a member of the PPD, today Maywood, our working league, will be presenting for us the PESA Play DAO, whereby she's going to cover some of the frameworks like missions and proposal missions, of course, as well as the goal, impact, and regeneration, among others, as well as when she'll be finalizing the transition to active implementation, and all these steps would be aligned with the phase 3 execution, phase 3 execution gate. So Maywood Mora, welcome.
Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. My name is Maywood Mora. I'm the PESA Play DAO lead, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to share what we have done so far and where we are headed Let me just share my screen so that we can all see the presentation, if that's okay. I hope you're able to see my presentation.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, okay. So I will just start by giving a brief overview of what it is we are doing at Pesa Play DAO, the mission, the problem, and the solution that we have created to address the problem. Sorry. So our mission at Pesa Play DAO is to pilot and validate 2 interactive animated e-learning modules with 25 to 50 Kenyan children, 50 children in Kenyan school ecosystems, which will bridge the financial literacy gap through engaging consequence-based digital learning. So the digital threat, which is basically the problem, is that Kenyan children aged 18 to 15 use modern mobile money systems daily without age-appropriate protective literacy or fraud awareness. They process digital values before grasping definitions of budgeting, saving structures, or mobile-specific threats such as PIN fraud and SMS spoofing. So our solution is to create an animated browser-based simulation modules where children engaged in structured decision-making trees inside a secured environment. So every tree within the animated e-learning platform triggers real consequences and immediate mobile feedback loops, reinforcing positive money actions and safety instincts. So basically the whole point of this is that we want to create an environment, a safe environment where children can learn soft money skills such as budgeting, savings, and also being able to identify threats within the digital financial space, such as fraud and SMS spoofing, in a sustainable way. On these platforms, the children will be able to revisit modules that they have challenges understanding, and also the data that will be collected from that platform will help us to address the gaps that are within, the learning capabilities of the children who are using the platform, or every child who's using the platform, interacting with the platform. So our DAO alignment, which is our goal, is to build and pilot 2 interactive animated modules targeting financial literacy and digital safety for children aged 8 to 15 in Nairobi school ecosystems. The regeneration target is to achieve full capital recovery of the $3,000 seed budget via school licensing deals and family subscriptions to build a resilient and circular ecosystem. So why did we take this approach? On the issue of the target context, Nairobi schools are selected for phase 1 to validate technical features on stable device hardware before broader rollout. And then the tone and spirit of this is that we focus on child-friendly gaming dynamics, consequence-based learning trees, and robust data privacy parameters. So going back on the target context, basically, I've had a few questions, especially from our DAO members, on whether we can implement Pesa Play in another geographical jurisdiction, and this would also be instrumental in giving context on on why we chose this target. So the Nairobi schools are basically going to help us pilot the product. So from this piloting program that we will conduct in Nairobi schools, which would be maybe a controlled environment, we'll see what works on the platform, what doesn't work, what improvements we need to make, what the data we have collected, what does it say about how children learn or on animated e-learning modules. And then if we are going to scale and do it in different geographic jurisdictions, then have we considered the issue on translating the materials or making sure that the translations on the platforms are accurate, or also based off of the lessons that we would have learned from the piloting programs that would be done in Nairobi, then how best are we able to implement it in a different geographic location? On also data privacy parameters, we understand that children are a very sensitive demographic, which means that their data is sensitive. Things to do with consent, participation, and just generally protecting children from the internet and how they are exposed to digital tools. So on the DAO members' involvement, we have 4 working groups within our DAO, and each working group has a working group lead and working group members. For the members of the DAO, they can find their respective roles and responsibilities in their respective working group plans. So in each of the working group plans, the working group leads as well as the working group members have created a breakdown on who the people who are part of the working group and their specific roles within the working group. I felt that it would be too much, it would be too long for me to add it here, but the working group plans are open for people to just look through and peruse and find out what their specific roles and responsibilities are. So for now, I would just want to mention the working groups and the core roles and primary responsibilities for each working group. So we have the execution working group, which is led by Dice Jr., who is also our technical lead. The core role and responsibilities for this working group will be platform coding, prototype iterations, hosting architecture, internal QA review, and pilot day setup. And then we have the regeneration working group, which is led by Joao. The core roles and responsibilities of this working group will be establishing a school outreach pipeline that is basically trying to onboard schools to accept us to test our product in their school ecosystem, and also licensing proposals, payment gateway setup, and parent ambassadors. I will talk about parent ambassadors much later when we are looking at the collaborators for our DAO. We also have the coordination working group, which is led by Sori, which is responsible for rhythm alignment, governance oversight, and weekly compliance, which will also include participation of members, tracking how the working groups are executing their roles, and so on and so forth. We have the documentation working group, which is headed by Gintare, which will be responsible for drive archiving, consent tracking, anonymized photo logs, results packaging, and final reporting. Basically, the documentation working group will be very instrumental on helping us collecting pre and post assessment data, and also analyzing the data and bringing now the final reports, which will be instrumental in final decision makings in terms of licensing on the side of the schools, and also learning, evaluation and learning on our side. So our feasible and responsible plan is categorized into 4 different phases. So phase 1, which is from June 16th to June 22nd, which should be ending sometime soon, is to establish shared Google Drives and templates, to schedule school initial contacts, and finalize on working plans. From June 22nd to July 12th, this will be phase 2, the preparation phase. Will be to deploy stable browser links, internal QA passes, and execute signed school MOUs. From now, phase 2, we will be moving to phase 3, which is the piloting phase, which will run from July 13th to August 7th. This will include execute facilitated sessions with 25 to 50 kids and gathering assessment data. And then phase 4, which will be the regeneration phase, which will start in August 10th to August 21st, will be to present school improvement graphs to convert pilot data, this should have been data, into annual licenses. So once we've been able to do the piloting, we would first like to start with the schools where we will do the piloting. will present the data that we have collected from the platform while engaging with their students. And we will now open discussions on licensing and how on the licensing plans that are available for the school, and also licensing and also platform use beyond the school that would be now at home, which would now include family subscriptions. So our current status on strategic foundations is that we have completed the master plan. So strategic foundations are locked. So comprehensive development of the
Yeah, so please wait for some seconds. Maywood is coming back because of the Wi-Fi problems. Thank you.
So anyone from Supply DAO can continue the presentation.
Bismarck, do you want to continue?
Yeah, okay. Sorry, my colleague is having issues with their network, and let me share one shortly. Just a moment. Yeah, hope my screen is okay. So where she left at, or maybe, yeah, where she left was under the working group activation, right?
Yes, please keep continue.
Continue, Diana. Okay. Sorry? Okay, let's continue. Yeah, so under the working, I'll just enlarge this a bit. Yeah, that's okay. So under the working group activation, whereby you have the working group plan drafted, and all the four groups, that is the execution, regeneration, coordination, and documentation have mapped their core plans. They have the milestone to achieve. So this is under the operational workflow mobilization and refinement. So this proceeding on to refinement process, where the working groups are actively updating as well as polishing workflows based on the feedback ahead of the July execution date. And we have also the cross work group pipelines, or where the codependencies. The examples are tech build hands-off, or the documentation and sales loops that are synchronized together. They are synchronized, they work together. Under the current status on the school outreach and platform refinement is the school outreach campaigns were successful, and they underway alongside continuous technical platform testing to ensure they're robust, or rather
I
or
think
rather
my word is back. So
okay, just a moment.
so
Maywood,
Bismarck.
you wanna continue your presentation?
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's good she's
Yeah,
back.
okay. It's Bismarck. Maybe Bismarck can continue. I'm so sorry. There was a blackout, so
Alright,
my
it's just a
connection.
reminder that I think we only have like 2 minutes left for our presentation, so please hurry up.
Bismarck, you can finish for us, please.
Yeah, okay. Since we have 2 minutes, let's just do this little fast. Then, as I said, on our slide 7, we have the current status school outreach and platform, whereby we have the the school's outreach was successfully, the campaigns were successfully alongside continuous technical platform. The institutional outreach, we also moved to the local county engagement. From there, the administrative collateral, whereby there was formal outreach decks, partner school pitch folders, and the legal pilot templates in preparation. And the final was product optimization technical refinements for the browser ready. So for the browser ready animated modules. When we move to our measurable outcomes, we arrived at a student impact rate whereby we had said we should be able to facilitate a session of 25 to 50 children across the Nairobi private network and also validate learning curve. And our target is more than 80%. Also, the regeneration target whereby we had to where we are looking to secure initial school licensing discussions and test family subscriptions interest, and also audit the trail architecture. We have to store and pre-host sheets, verified drive logs, and payment settlement files. Moving on to how we allocated the budget. Under the execution, we allocated $1,200. That whereby we are we are going to do the refinement cycles, prototyping the refinement, testing and design support, as well as implementation activities. In the working group 2, we allocated a $600 cost, whereby we are going to reach out for the partnership and also sustainability planning as well as visibility activities. So the work group 3, we have the coordination. We allocated a budget of 450, whereby we are going to meet the coordination communication system as well as scheduling all the workflow support. The documentation was also allocated a budget of 450, whereby this will include reporting, archiving, and proposal of drafting presentation materials. We have the contingency reserve, which has allocated 300, and this will be only used for emergencies or any unforeseen DAO needs. This will total amount of 3,000. So under the external collaboration, we have the school, the local school ecosystem, and the parent association and CAT. So under the local school ecosystem, facilitating educators like teachers, the lead modules on school hardware, the scope to evidence delivery are supposed to be within 24 hours. This will include the observation logs and the pre-post assessment. We have the IT schools, IT school coordinators, whereby the volunteering roles supporting device checks, browser settings, and also network access setup. Under the parent association and CAT, we'll be having the PTA ambassador group. This will be distributed according to family, paid
Hello,
access
Bismarck.
codes inside.
Hello, Bismarck. I think we ran out of time, so can you please go through the other 2 slides and then we could move on because we spent so much time for this presentation.
Yes, let me just wind up. Then our next slide will
Our next slide is the school and pilot readiness. Under this slide will be there will be focus on the partnership security and pilot logistics, as well as polishing the platform and operational handshakes. They'll include the lock-in school commitments, finalize onboarding packets, as well as refine field materials. In the platform polish, we'll be having incorporate planning feedbacks, deliver pilot-ready modules, and operationalize the working groups. And last but not least, we'll be having to transition the proposition to the implementation phase. This would include the establishment of timelines from the July 28th to August 7th. And we have to do also the complete pre-launch checklist to verify that all the critical the prerequisites, especially the 100% parental and guardian consent collection, and go live. These steps are designed to align the phase 3 execution date that will begin on July 13th. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Any
thank
questions?
you so much. Okay, thank you so much for the presentation, and I would like to start our session. So, speaking on behalf of DAO Facilitator for BBD, I would like to briefly share some observations from me and Mel to the DAO's proposal and planning process. So, Mel, can you please share our screen? Okay. Okay, so for our feedbacks, I think during our time working as a DAO facilitator for BBD, one thing that me and Mel really appreciate was the strong cross-functional structure established across our DAO and the working groups also. So the plan submitted is clearly defined how execution, coordinations, documentations, and regenerations activities connect with others, which helps creating a coherent workflow. And next is, I think another strength of the team is that we focus on the measurable impact. So instead of relying on the broad educational objectives, we also define clear structure metrics that will make it easier to evaluate outcomes and demonstrate impact. And last but not least, I also impressed by the team proactive approach to risk management. So we identify potential implementation challenges early. So overall, I believe that the team has built a solid foundations and is well positioned to move into the next stage. So, but I think as a part of the review process, I also want to share some recommendations with the team. So next slide, please. Yeah. So one area I want to remind is that we need to focus on the reporting and documentation. So during our discussions, I noticed that some reporting responsibilities were spread across multiple working groups. So streamlining these responsibilities could help you reduce duplications and make coordination more efficient. And another recommendation was related to the workflow alignment. And I also encouraged the team to align the workflow with the operational reality, since contributors are working across different schedules and locations and time zone. So it is important that coordination mechanism remain flexible and reflect how the team, how we could collaborate in practice. So, last but not least, I also recommend we to establish a clear tracking system for revenue flow, so that as a DAO facilitator, we could keep an update on that. So, next slide. Yeah. So I would like to open the floor for discussion. Next slide, please. Okay, so I would like to to ask everybody joining today from other DAOs that do you have any feedbacks or suggestions that could help strengthen the plan of PPD DAO to further improvement and before the implementation phase begins? Please feel free to share any reflection or challenges or even lesson learned from your own DAO process.
Hi, anyone from other DAOs want to have any point of view or any questions about our plan? Please just open your mic and tell us your questions or your opinion. Oh, I see Mitch. Mitch, can you open your mic?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just now in the car in transit. So, but I was very impressed by the fact that the whole team wanted to protect the children's rights when it came to not only cybersecurity but cyber safety. So I think that's something that we all also need to really commend, not necessarily follow because we don't all have children going to participate or target for the DAO, but very commendable plan that I'm sorry, I forgot her name, but she mentioned it a while ago. That was
Hi, Mitch. I think you turned off your mic. Can
oh
you
yes,
turn it
yes.
on again?
Oh yes, but yeah, Maywood. That was done. That was. I just wanted to commend them and to continue on the path to ensure cybersecurity and cyber safety for children. That's it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Mitch. And from BBD members, do you want to share something about your process of working in a decentralized group? There's some BBD members. Sorry, do you want us to share something?
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on the time you have. Um, I am Sorial Fatoli, PPD member, and I'm the coordination working group lead. First and foremost, I want to say a huge congratulations to our group lead, which is Maywood, for giving us this presentation about the master plan. And I've already said, okay, I've already said since we started this work, like for me, it's the first time working with this decentralization program. But as time goes on, as a teamwork, yes, she has been trying. She is trying a lot and seeing most of us. For now, we have already adapted to the system, to the ecosystem, because as the initial, we don't even know most of what PP, what the program was. But due to as a teamwork and collaboration, for now, we are saying a huge thank you, and we have already tried to work on the plan. So to see how best we're going to give the cybersecurity stuff we talk about for the children from age 8 to age 15. To see how best they're going to have the literacy they need. So I want to say a huge congratulations to her and for all the PPD members. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for your sharing. And okay, I think we can move to on to next step. Yeah. So as the DAO facilitator has shared that we're coming to the phase that the DAO prepare for the proposal submission and voting on XDAO. So over the coming week, DAO members can continue discussing and finalize the proposal and continue using Discord. to discuss and finalize. Or if you need any support, just ping us on Discord. And from July to until early August, BBDAO will execute the activities outlined in the plan, and we will get updated in the DEP execution since event on the August 14th. So I'm looking forward to seeing how BBD could bring this plan to reality over the coming months. So that's the end of our presentation.
I also want to add on some of the Q&A that you guys have submitted through the forms. The first one is during your execution phase, what is the expected turnaround time for Canberra to respond to urgent requests like payment issues or technical support for XDAO voting? So our answer for that is that when encountering payment issues, technical support bottlenecks for XDAO voting or other critical issue, the priority one of you guys is to self-support, especially review the DEP2 docs for immediate troubleshooting steps that we already documented it. And the priority two is peer support to use Discord so that you can engage with other participants for quick and localized problem solving. And also the third priority is to direct us through submit formal and urgent issue via the contact form that we already sent to you guys through the onboarding slides. And expected turnaround time is once the issue is submitted through a formal contact form, the review and assistance window is typically 1 to 3 business days. And the second question is that you guys asked about if we exceed the generation target of more than 3,000 US dollar, can the surplus be carried over to cohort 3 or reinvested into the project without penalty? So there is no penalty for regenerating more than the target of $300,000. So per the debt to reinvestment rules, regenerated funds, including any surplus, or are intended to serve as seed capital for DAO's next cycle in debt 3. So the primary purpose is to fund future project cycles and to scale what works and enable self-sustainability. So successful DAO keep building with less dependent on the external seed funding. So yeah, there is no penalty for regenerating more than the target. All right, so I think that's it for now. And I would like to invite my colleague to share the onboarding phase feedback.
Okay, thanks a lot once again to all DAO members and also to the facilitation from the DAO facilitators for all of the amazing support and guidance, and also with your hard work and dedication throughout this period. And yeah, now we will welcome Wing from our team to share feedback that we collected from the onboarding phase with everyone. Yeah, so hello, Wing.
Hi, thank you everyone who took the time to share feedback on the DEP2 onboarding phase. We received 33 response, and today I'll walk you through the key highlights and what went well and what we will improve. Next slide. Okay, so we had a great spread of feedback across 4 DAO, Exchange DAO and Cultural and Creative DAO each contributed 9 response. Tap Tokenomic DAO gave us a response and participant proposed DAO has 7. And in the second picture, the satisfaction score across 3 key areas: clarity on the onboarding progress, helpfulness of materials, and the helpfulness of support received. The results are strongly positive. And overall ratings are concentrated in the 4 to 5 range across all 3 questions. Next slide, please. And for the feedback highlighted for key strength, a clear master plan template and checklist for structure, responsive and patient facilitators, comprehensive kickoff materials, and strong engagement through weekly DAO meetings and Q&A section. Next slide, please. And of course, there's room to grow. 5 main concerns came up: timeline between kickoff and deliverables, and overwhelming volume of documentation, unclear Discord communication, CED verification issues, and language barrier for non-English speaker. Based on this feedback, our action plan will include extending timeline between milestones, building a concise onboarding roadmap, streamlining Discord structure, and improving CED support. Thank you again for the input. It's directly shaping how we run on the net phase. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Uyên, for your sharing. And we also see that we have the insightful feedback from members, right? And we truly appreciate that. And we'll work on enhancing things accordingly. Once again, thanks a lot for all the information and feedback that you guys share with us via the form. Okay, and yeah, so now we're back to our agenda and move to the last part. I would love to share with you guys the next milestones. So, as you guys observe the milestones, we have got through the period for DEP review and feedback for the first stage for master plan and working group plan on June 15th to June 18th, right? And from that time till June 21st, we will finalize the master plan and also finalize the working group plans. So everyone kindly note this timeline. And after that, we will submit the proposals and be ready for the voting on Excel. Officially we'll submit right there and vote on Excel from June 22nd to June 29th. And lastly, is about the first payment receipt for 70% is on July 6th to July 10th. All right, so here are the 4 key points I would love to mention again about the next milestones. And 4, the questions you have shared in the chat box, if any. And I also see that the working group leaders, especially from CAT Tokenomics DAO, that share with you guys the insights that collected from the team. We also will note every single questions if you guys share in the chat box, and we'll share with you guys answers later via Discord channel and also via our DEP2 documents. And now, just one last thing before we say goodbye after this event. Please take a moment to complete the feedback poll that our team has prepared. It's very quick, right? And yeah, I hope that you guys received it right now. We would deeply appreciate it, as your input helps us improve for the next event. You can find the poll right on your screen and kindly spare 3 minutes to fill it out. Yeah, thank you so much. So we will let you guys have 3 minutes to reflect and share your feedback, if any. All right, thank you. Okay, so one more minute, everyone. Kindly share with us your feedback or anything that come with your mind. All right, we truly appreciate every single feedback for the adjustment in the future cohorts. Thank you. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone, for your participation in sharing the feedback with all of us. All right. So we would love to say thank you to all members for being with us today. We're excited for the journey ahead and to create real impact together. Please stay connected with us on the Canberra Discord channel for updates and ongoing conversations. If you have any different questions or suggestions or ideas, we'd love to hear from you. We hope you leave this event with fresh energy, meaningful connection, a wonderful feedback and insights. Yeah, and moreover, we can try to refine the projects into the most feasible and impactful with your proposals, including master plan and also working through plans. Until next time, take care and see you soon. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining and goodbye for now. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.